Question 16. The diagram is not drawn accurately. In the diagram, A is the point -2, 0, B is the point 0, 4, C is the point 5, -1. Find an equation of the line that passes through C and is perpendicular to AB. So, a perpendicular line that is going through C 90 degrees is a line that looks something like this. Okay, now it's not drawn accurately, so we can't figure anything out in that way, unfortunately, but let's get started. What we do know though is we can work out the equation of line AB. So if I write the general equation of a straight line, y equals mx plus c, where m is the gradient, how steep it is, and c is where it crosses the y-axis, we can figure a few things out. So y equals mx plus the coordinates of b are 0, 4. That means it must cut the y-axis at 4. The coordinates for A is -2, 0. So we need to figure out the gradient, how steep the line is. Now we can also do the change in the y coordinates over the change in the x, or we could just work out 1 unit to the right, how many up it goes. Okay, so at the moment 2 to the right, it goes 4 up. That means 1 to the right, it must go 2 up. 1 to the right, it must go 2 up. Okay, so therefore the gradient must be 2. So that means y equals 2x plus 4. That is the equation for the line AB. So let me just quickly show you if you wanted to find the gradient of line AB and you have 2 coordinates, you could also do the change in y over the change in x, and that should also get us 2. So change in y, so 4 take away 0, over 0 take away -2, take away -2. So on the top we have 4, and on the bottom we have 2. So 4 divided by 2, that gives us a gradient of 2, just like we said. Okay. Anyway, we have the line AB, and that's y equals 2x plus 4. Now a perpendicular line will have the gradient -1 over m. So the perpendicular line now, perpendicular line, is going to have a gradient 1 over m, well, -1 over m. So it was 2 before, so -1 over 2 is the gradient for the perpendicular line. So once again we're going to use y equals mx plus c. So y equals mx plus c for our perpendicular line, and we know it's y equals -1/2 x plus c. Now we want the perpendicular line to go through C, and the coordinates of C is 5 -1. So 5 -1 is C. Now that's point C. We want to find the y-intercept, so we need to substitute the coordinates of point C into here. Okay, a little bit confusing with the 2 C's. This is the point C, and this C represents the y-intercept of the perpendicular line. Okay, so our y is -1 equals -1/2 times 5 plus c. So -1 equals minus a half times 5 is minus 5 over 2, so that gives us minus 2.5 plus c. Now we need to add 2.5 to each side, to both sides, so that gives us positive 1.5 equals c. So finally then, for the final answer, the equation for the perpendicular line is going to be then y equals minus a half x plus 1.5. And that is the final answer. Now question 16 is worth 4 marks in total. 4 marks. And let's have a look at how you get those marks. Okay, so the first one is a method mark for an attempt to find the gradient of AB. So that's going to be this 2 here, or we found the gradient of line AB as 2. So that's the first mark. The second mark is a method mark for an attempt to find a gradient of the perpendicular line using minus 1 over m, which we found the gradient to be minus a half. The third method mark is dependent on method mark 2 for the substitution of this coordinate here to try and find what the y-intercept is. And the fourth mark, the final mark, is for the equation of the perpendicular line. So y equals minus a half x plus 1.5 for the fourth and final mark. And that's it for question 16.